Stream is begin. Approximately. More or less. Mostly more. There's got to be a better way to get the fucking URL of the thing. I am doing this in what feels like the jankiest way. It's true. This is the thing about me.
I mean, I feel like I know other people who do streams more regularly and they like pre-schedule them. I know we can't quite pre-schedule necessarily.
Well, there's a couple of things going on there. First of all, they can do that because their brains function.
Yeah.
Secondly, you know, I don't have any idea how to use YouTube streaming tools. I think that's it.
Okay.
That feels like the link. In my heart, that makes sense as the link.
Yeah, I think the shows I've been on have been people using StreamYard and then also YouTube. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, they have technologies and yeah. Listen, there are ways to do this thing well. And I keep saying I'm going to spend time and polish this process up, and I really do need to. But you know how I am with time and focus.
Yeah.
So it remains a thing that I would really like to do. I'm going to. I swear I'm going to.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are we
See
on?
me.
Are we live?
Yeah, it looks like we're live. Yeah. So.
In?
All right.
What are our? I was waiting for you to skeet it so that I could reskeet it.
I did skeet it. I skeeted it all over the place.
Amabel. We're not even in the actual stream yet. Okay.
Okay, high jump is the 6 different, or at least once. Okay, and crossing the river crossing one. That one was tricky last time. We did add that
with each of the lines.
Okay, 2 bottom corners are the good ones.
Do you think we're getting close to the point where we need to swap out the pre-stream game?
Oh, was that something we're going? I assume we'd always do this.
I mean, I think it's good to do a little game while we wait for people. Just have something running and us talking while we wait for for people to show up and stuff. But I don't think it needs to be the same thing forever.
Okay. Well, it's just you'd be finding one that's a similar weight. Something people can kind of pick up on us having to explain it every time. Like that game I like that's real short.
I mean, BGA
I think it's too long.
BGA has a ton of roll-in rights, at the very least.
Okay.
That game you like that's short but too long, it doesn't contain any nouns. I can't get what you're saying.
I mean, wait, the word nouns. Game is a noun. I forget the name of it, but it's the one with the grid, and we move around the grid, and we have the tiles that we place. We should have a personal grid.
Oh, sure. Move around a grid and place tiles. That's a unique description of a board game.
A 3x3 grid, and there's a thing that moves around the edge of the thing, and when it's highlighting the row or column.
Rauha.
Yeah, I think that might be
very simple and fast.
All right,
we could absolutely do that one.
Okay.
I don't actually I don't like it very much. I think it's okay. But yeah, we could do that one a couple of times.
Oh, I like it a lot.
Okay. That's fine. You're allowed to have opinions. Sometimes I have opinions. Sometimes you have opinions.
You frequently have opinions.
I almost always have opinions.
Do I? Let's go here.
Yay. I feel like I summoned that. Okay, so I don't really have a plan. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this to take another overhead crossing.
All right.
And then maybe even more from there. This feels like building myself into a corner a little bit. But I guess we have very few cards left. It doesn't make that big of a difference. Actually, There we go. I'll just overhead cross myself right out of that corner.
Oh. You know what I just realized after how many games was that we played?
4.
Okay. I think I frequently just try to maximize how many districts I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And not how many are in one of the districts in order to get that multiplier. That's probably why my score is always so bad.
It is a good idea to maximize your score. I would recommend that to anyone. Very kind words in the chat. Thank you very much.
Aww.
I'll tell you what, I did not do a very good job of it on that last line where my density multiplier was a 3.
Well, mine also was a 3, but you still scored like way more points than me.
My line was worth 3 points more than yours.
If you say so.
I can see that 25 and 28 are. This might be a numeracy thing. I am here to tell you, Amabel, the 25 and 28 are in fact 3 away from each other.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
That's critical information for you. I might try to cut into this upper corner. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's not getting new overheads. Yeah, maybe I need to be focused more on trying to get new overheads. But yeah, I guess I hadn't talked to you about this. I had like sort of always planned that we would do this a few times, and then we just kind of like slowly roll through rolling rights. Just so that this part of the stream has value to people if they're showing up.
Okay.
If they're showing up early and they want to we know a thing or two about a board game, we can share that knowledge. And I think actually, perhaps running counter to people's expectations, I think that a number of roll and writes are actually pretty cool and interesting, despite the fact that they're maybe a little simpler than the kinds of games that I generally play. Do we have triangles left? We do not have triangles left. We have wild left. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and commit this. If we draw that wild, I guess maybe that wasn't smart. Because if we draw that wild, I'm not doing this with it. I'm running down the side here with it. Well, whatever. Too late to fix it now. This will give me an immediate connection to orange. So we're going to draw a wild after this, huh?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what that makes. I did a 3 again, unfortunately. I'm trying to figure out how do I get out of how do I make this make any kind of sense as a move. I guess we can go up to the corner here. It's not amazing, but this corner counts as 2 districts, so at least I get a 28 again. I'm doing terribly. Y'all, I've been awake for about 8 minutes.
She has not been awake very much.
I was up late last night watching Jarvis Johnson Gold videos because I got fixated.
Who's Jarvis Johnson Gold?
Jarvis Johnson is a person, and Gold is he has a channel called Jarvis Johnson Gold, which is a premium channel that is free. But if you're watching it, you're premium. he's funny, but like I don't know the quote unquote cultural commentary style. I don't know that I think that stuff's like good for me to watch, necessarily valuable. But it is consumable in 20-minute chunks when you convince yourself, okay, I'll go to bed after the next one.
Okay.
And also other stuff. And also I was doing other stuff, obviously. Do I want to... Yes, literally yes. Dreyeth notes, and I hope I'm saying that right. There's a lot of vowels in a row. Dreyeth notes, it is better than doom scrolling social media. I literally was using it to avoid doom scrolling social media. That's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because my therapist and I have been working on my survival plan for the election season. Because I do, given my tendency to fixate and stuff, I am worried. We are both, she and I both are worried for my mental health during what is sure to be the most horrifying election season of my life.
I am also worried for you, sweetheart.
Because I don't want to go off on a whole thing. I don't want to make this like a whole thing, and nobody needs to feel bad for me, to be clear. But I did have a little bit of a pretty serious anxiety attack the other day because of social media stuff, and it's the problem with me is I'm crazy. It has a lot of negative effects. Do I want to just hit the corner now? I guess this is the last triangle. If we're going to hit this corner, we got to hit it now. But I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with it. So after this, we're guaranteed a square, and we might get some like wilds and stuff as well. Well, I think probably the smart money here is play through the overhead then. Okay, that's interesting. I think we probably just go to this corner. Hey, Amabel, I'm gonna have more than a 3 this time.
Okay.
Let's double count this one. Check it out. Multiplier is a 4. And then, yeah, we can just touch the purple line for some bonus points. I'm good at, weaving my lines together a little bit at least.
Okay, wait, which of these? How does scoring work again? All right, if I go there.
The score for each individual line is the number of sectors you're in times the stations in the sector in which you have the most stations connected.
Yes. So that's
plus 2 points per monument that you touch.
Okay, so 2 points if I go to the monument.
In addition, at the end of the game, each station that has 2 different colors touching it is worth 2 extra points. 3 colors touching it is worth 5 extra points, and all 4 colors touching it is 9 extra points.
Okay, well, I can go. I mean, that also increases the This does increase the multiplier, actually. That is the big. Okay, that's the one I'm doing. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. The game's got very simple rules. It's easy to explain.
I just can't internalize them.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good setup. And it means I crossed the river. Hooray! Alright, I got my objectives locked in at least. How you doing over there?
I'm doing badly.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. That's interesting. I guess we've already drawn the guaranteed pentagon. I'm just going to take this now, I guess. And we're going to use it to just draw through here. And now I've used all 8 of the overheads. Oh, interesting. I don't know if that's right. I used the first wild there to draw to the corner and the line from the corner to draw to a monument, and it let me draw the extra line. I'm not 100% certain that that's the rules, honestly. I can't say for sure that it's not. This is kind of rad because it loops us back into this sector, so we get to pick up some extra... need to pick up some extra multiplier. Like it was the plan or something.
I'll go here.
I mean, technically both the numbers are multiplier, right? Like...
Yeah.
So this could end at any moment. We could just draw a circle and be done. Actually, sorry, we're going to draw at most 2 more cards, even in the long term.
Ah, there it is.
Okay, I feel a little bit better about the score of those last 2 lines.
I didn't do bad for me. That's the highest score I've had in quite some time.
You got a 175? Yeah, that's good. I don't know what it is that I am consistently doing wrong. It's just like, no, you're nowhere near the part of the leaderboard where people can see your name. What are you doing? I guess I'm not that far down this time. I'm not that far down in terms of total names. I am 30 points behind. But not very many people did well this time. Amabel.
Yeah.
Games are hard. Did you know?
Yeah. I do know this.
Hey everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Our good friend Jill had a recommendation for today's stream topic, and I think it's rad. It's a rad idea, so we're doing it. How many of y'all are familiar with the game Dungeon Keeper? Which I could have looked up some quick Dungeon Keeper facts. That would have been smart. Dungeon Keeper is a game that came from Bullfrog Software in like 1997-ish.
Wow.
1997. I did it.
Were you even alive then?
I was alive. I was 12 years old, which is going to help explain some things you're gonna see. Before we get
you are so young.
We are the same age. Before we get to the thing, I just want to say, as ever, let me pull this down. Also these. I just want to say, as ever, thank you to TheRelaxedMovement for pre-stream music. What we will definitely be using as our end-stream music today. This track in particular, really, really digging it. Anyway. Let's do the thing. Let's get to keeping some dungeons. Now, here's a problem. I can't get this sort of workaround hack. Because here's the thing about this game. It has a maximum resolution of like 480 by 320.
Okay.
So I'm using some hacks to make it function. And that makes it play a little bit funny with screencasting software. So I think either you're going to have to parsec into my machine, or you're just going to have to not get the audio.
I mean, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah,
we got to talk about this thing where I'm like, so A or B, and you're like, yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's a consistent issue.
The second thing is fine, because the first thing allows me to continue to monitor the chat.
Yeah.
Which is my job.
Okay.
On this just streams that I sometimes do.
Yeah, that you sometimes even actually. So let me try to get this. Hold on a second. That didn't work. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're launching it. It's actually going to function. Maybe. It's kind of working. Here we go. Welcome, y'all, to Dungeon Keeper. Check out this sick opening cinematic. Wait, hold on. Don't check out this opening cinematic. Amabel doesn't have the audio yet. Damn it.
Hang on.
Or the video. Let me...
No, I mean, I have it up on the YouTube,
okay,
so I'm a little bit behind.
You're just going to watch the stream. Okay.
Yeah.
That works. I mean, you'll get the audio. No, you won't, because you won't have the sound on.
I mean, I'll turn it on for the
amazing cinematic.
Yeah, I'm turning it on now.
Okay. Sorry, this is like a nightmare. This whole situation. Why can't software from the past just work the way I want it to? Okay, here we go. So for a little bit of context, this shit was not exactly state of the art at the time, but this was like very rad. Gave him the finger Amabel.
Okay.
Yeah, take that, good guys, because we're evil. I was 12. I was 12. I want everybody to remember that I was 12.
All right, I have the...
I remember as a kid loving so much that part where the skull alarm is going off and the extra guitar comes in.
Yeah, so this came out like a year or two after I stopped playing video games.
Okay. So check this out.
Snuggledell. The folk of Snuggledell worship the common rabbit.
All right.
Floppy-eared bunnies are encouraged to hop around the fields surrounding the hamlet, bringing happiness, love, and more bunnies to the entire area.
You go around this like idyllic fantasy world, and the narrator tells you about these areas called things like Snugglebell and Cuddletown and Happyville that have these like insane Care Bear descriptions, and then you click in and you make your dungeon underneath them and you make everything hell. The parts of the map that are all like red and gross, those are the parts where I have already won. So this is I'm using a tool called Keeper FX to have this run at a resolution that doesn't look like smeary garbage. This is Dungeon Keeper.
Okay.
This is the thing. We're the bad guys. It is a very standard fantasy heroes delve into a dungeon to fight the creatures within and steal their treasure kind of scenario, but we are the dungeon, not the heroes. And we want to get them killed. We want them killed. It's time to mete out the ultimate punishment to a keeper who dares to challenge you for this corner of your subterranean empire. The price of failure shall be oblivion. Oh, we're up against another keeper in this level. So you can see I've got these imps running around here. Whenever my cursor goes over one of my creatures, it turns into the hand of evil, and I can pick up my dudes and like move them around and drop them in places where I want them to focus. I can also right-click to slap them, which damages them but makes them do their job faster for a little while. Which is fine because we're evil, Amabel. Please don't forget that we're evil. So I'm going to mark out some territory to be dug here. A thing that that Keeper FX adds that I think is really nice, actually, is the ability to designate tiles for digging in a large block.
Okay.
So it may not be super clear. Let me turn the camera a little bit. But when we dig out a tile, my cursor is the main source of light in the dungeon. So apologies. When we dig out a room, the tiles are just dirt and we'll encounter like neutral corridors and stuff. In order for us to build on the tiles or use them, they have to be consecrated by my imps. And once they're consecrated, they look like this and they have our player color in the middle of them. For the moment, all we can really do is wait for the imps to finish following my dig order. And there's no fast forward in this game. Also, I may end up turning down the audio because the audio in this game can get pretty annoying.
I can't tell.
We're gonna hear a lot of the mining sound. I hope y'all dig the mining sound. That's real fun. And then when they finish mining this, they're going to make the consecrating sound 25 times in quick succession.
Okay, I'm going to turn on the audio on the YouTube so I can hear that.
So right now this gold is not ours. In order for gold to count as ours, it has to be in a treasure room that belongs to us. Here we go. Consecrate. Or desecrate, I guess. Lazy imps, only 2 of them are desecrating. No, there we go. Alright, so once we have the space dug out, I will designate it as a room type. This is my treasure room. I didn't get the whole room. There we go. Alright. Ordinarily, the imps would have to run the treasure back, but I was smart enough to build the treasure room underneath all of our gold. So this here is our portal. All of our creatures are going to come in and join our dungeon through our portal. But before we go making that happen, I think it probably behooves us to have a place for those creatures to live.
We have a question from the chat. Is this running in DOSBox?
No. If you buy the game on GOG, it will run in DOSBox. That's their solution to it. Keeper FX, my understanding is that Keeper FX is something of a rebuild of a lot of the game, and I don't exactly... I did a lot of figuring this stuff out pretty late last night, so I don't exactly know what Keeper FX's technical solution is, but they're doing something else. But the original game, if you buy it on GOG, it is absolutely just DOSBoxed.
Okay, so
we're going to designate this area as a lair.
Okay.
And now that we have a lair and a connection to a portal, we should start to get some creatures. However, creatures need things. They will not be happy. I'm just kind of... Something going on in here. A lot of screaming in this part of the dungeon. Weird. They will not be happy with just this stuff. We're going to need some other things for them. So, one thing that creatures love is to be able to eat. They love eating. So... have the imps make some space over here, and I'm going to make some space over here too. In this room, I'm going to make a little bit larger. I'm so bad at dragging in a straight line.
Yeah, I am too.
Never in my life have I been able to do anything straight.
I love that about you. So you're digging up these things, creating rooms, getting food.
And then these are the
this
room
is basically
types.
a Uwe Rosenberg game.
You know, it's not an Uwe Rosenberg game, except, okay, so our dungeon has attracted our first creatures, beetles. Beetles do not require any of the advanced room types, so they'll start showing up first. But we want to get our better rooms going here. So this is going to be a hatchery, where we will use the power of evil magic to spontaneously generate delicious chickens. And our creatures will occasionally just wander into the hatchery and eat a live chicken. And then this over here is going to be my training room where our creatures can train. You know what we need is imps. I don't have enough imps.
Okay.
So imps are creatures of pure magic. They are not like biological things. You can just instantiate an imp. Other creatures have to be drawn to your dungeon. So we're going to do that. We're going to create a nice training room over here. All right, that's going to help us draw in some new stuff. So we got a fly. We got a bile demon. Hell yeah, bile demon. This guy's the bile demon.
Okay.
He's going to go help himself to some gold right away as a reward for coming in, I guess. You can see here, this is our gold counter, our money available.
Mm-hmm.
Creatures do expect to be paid. They will get very cross if they are not paid. That's fair. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna. We got a bunch more gold over here that we're gonna want to dig out. I'm just gonna mark this, but we're not gonna get access to it just yet.
We have a comment from Kato who says, not to question your evil methods, but that training room looks like a meat grinder.
Yeah. No, that's the point. We're evil. Okay. We're doing evil over here.
Hey, I'm doing evil over here.
Yes, exactly. That's why we're allowed to slap our creatures to make them work faster. Hey, you, consecrate. Look at him go. This is going to be our library. I'm building it away from the other buildings. The game says the creatures who research in the library don't like noise, so build the library off to the side. That might be flavor text. I don't know anything about the actual mechanics of this game, but I have decided to take it to heart. And now that y'all are done with that, you can dig through here and access this rich vein of gold to transport back to the treasure room to keep creatures running. But this is like a good basic. We've got our start here. Oh, I got spiders. This could be a little bit of a problem. The spiders and the flies don't get along.
That makes sense.
I'm just gonna. I hate to be like this, but I'm just gonna let natural selection sort that one out.
It is payday.
It is payday. After a little while, we will only have spiders or flies left. Those will be the only ones who've survived, and that's how that's going to work. Oh, check it out. We got a warlock. Warlocks love a good library. And so each creature has like things they like to be doing when they're just hanging out. You see this spider is going to go for a nice train. Ooh, we got ourselves a demon spawn here. Demon spawns love to fight. So they will just hang out in the training room all day, which means that the demon spawns who are in your base will just naturally get super beefy. You can see the little number in the chaos star above his head. That indicates his level. He's already trained himself up to level 2 because he loves just sitting in here and fighting. So there's something going on. There's like a weird bit of undiggable stone surrounding some gold, surrounding a lot of screaming noises in the middle of the map here. And we're going to go... Now that we have a little bit of a force built up, we're going to go find out what that is. I like to try to put the entrance to the outside world from my dungeon like in the training room so that enemies who follow the path back and get in are getting into our strongest monsters.
Gotcha.
You know, if we're dealing with another... Oh, a spell has been researched. Sight of Evil. So we can take our spells here and we can, this will let me peel back the fog of darkness a little bit. What is happening in here? Oh, great. I just got a couple missions in. You're going to find out. Oh, combat. Oh yeah, right. The spiders and flies are fighting. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but you know, I'm going to let them work that out amongst themselves. I just got a couple missions in. I didn't really have a plan. I just didn't want to be doing the tutorial on camera. But what I've figured out is... yeah, you'll see.
Okay, yeah, we have comments saying, oh dear, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
some people might know. Some people might have just seen the thing that happened. Okay. So you can see our gold is constantly draining. These creatures who are in the training room training are expending gold every time they train. I'm going to put down a couple more imps because we have a lot of digging to do. They're not managing all of our tasks well enough. You can see imps left to their own devices will desecrate your walls as well. You can see these like wall tiles have our player color on them and they look stronger now. That helps prevent outsiders from digging through, because at some point your enemies are going to attack your base and they're going to try to punch through wherever they want, and if you have given your imps time to reinforce everything, you can really steer the outsiders through the path of your choice. Why is nobody working on this very good tunnel that I've marked? I'm outraged. So anyway, the researchers here in the research lab, looks like we got a couple of warlocks doing their thing. They'll research new spell types as well as new room types. So, for example, they've just researched the guard post, and that's a useful thing. I like to let them research for a while. At some point, we should force them to train. If we grab them and drop them in the training room, they'll do some leveling. But for right now, spells is good.
Okay.
There's also a workshop that can construct items like doors and traps and whatnot. Okay, hold on. Did I not mark this correctly? This goes all the way to the edge, right? Where are my imps? Monster mode. Give me 8 imps. Hey, you. Fucking pay attention to my orders. There we go. They know better than to ignore under the eye of the keeper.
You have tunneled into a new area.
Oh, we pierced. Ah, yes, we found a big thing here. All right. Well, once our imp has claimed some of this territory, we can build a bridge off of it into the dark. Can I just say one more time before we get to the thing that we're about to get to that I was 12?
Should I have the audio on? Like what?
The room has been researched.
I'm so curious.
Okay.
Oh no! Is it a hammer haunt? Is it going to scare you again? My poor baby.
It is not a hammer haunt. No. All right, we're gonna build one more room over here. Our researchers have just created the plan for the workshop, and we are going to we're gonna want to set up a workshop, both because workshops give our bile demons something to do. Bile demons love to work in a workshop, and also because we want traps. We want our people to create traps for interlopers, and we're still mining out that big vein of gold over there. There's a lot of just kind of sitting and watching. And unfortunately, this game, unlike future games in this genre, we had not yet invented the idea of the fast forward yet. Or I don't even think that's true. I think that probably the Tycoon games of the time had fast forwards. They just didn't feel the need to put one in Dungeon Keeper.
Does this count as an RTS?
This, sort of, I guess. Hey, imps. Do your job. Getting frustrated with your minions and then slapping the crap out of them, I think, is kind of part of the intended experience. I try not to use the slap mechanic. I feel bad when I slap them.
Yeah. I would never slap them.
Okay, we've researched the prison. We are evil. But yeah. I would like to note that in this game, a prison is not a place where you keep people for any reason other than to kill them. The explicit goal of the prison room is to capture enemies, put them in there, and then let them starve to death. Because enemies who starve to death in your prison may rise as skeletons to fight for you. So at least the game's honest about what the prison is for.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to make a big workshop because the size of the workshop... that's the wrong kind of room. What am I doing? The size of the workshop governs the number of items that can be sitting in it, I believe. Workshop. Here we go. That poor demon spawn. I made that room a workshop very briefly, and then he wandered in there, and I deleted it all. He looks so sad. Look at this. Creatures belonging to the other dungeon keeper. And you can see he has flown into our mass of demon spawns, our mass of hulking demon spawns, and immediately fled. Okay, let me show you a thing that I think is kind of cool, but also is implemented in a way that's like, listen, they were doing the best they could. This spell right here allows you to possess one of your creatures and actually see the dungeon and everything from their perspective. So we're just gonna grab this imp. Just jam myself into the head of this imp, and look at that.
Yeah, that's okay.
It is payday.
I don't think... Oh, our imps have desecrated this area. Okay, I should work with this. But yeah, this is neat, and you can fight from this perspective. Different creatures have different abilities. I think if you take over, like, the warlocks or other creatures with magic, you can actually use the magic. I can train this imp's combat skill here. I can dig things manually with the imp as well, I believe. But I don't want to ruin my nice walls. There's a demon spawn. Here's the chickens. We're gonna smack a chicken. An imp. Oh wow. An imp cannot kill a chicken. That's incredible. You can see over there in the health bar, this imp's name is Yoth. They all have procedurally generated names. Hey everybody, how's it going? This is our library. It's very beautiful. My creatures are attacking the enemy, and I should probably be present for that. Here's some guys doing some dancing. They're reinforcing the walls.
Okay.
So that's like a neat feature, right?
Yeah.
And you can see if we jump into the head of a creature who's a little bit more competent, warlocks walk slowly. Maybe you can't cast their spell. They have spells. I don't see a way to cast a spell. And you get like some different point of view stuff from different creatures. Some creatures have sort of like distortion to the way they see the world. Jumping into the viewpoint of a fly is pretty weird. All right, it's time to do the thing. Let's just mark all of this for extraction.
A trap has been manufactured.
Cool. They're manufacturing traps. Why must they be so
A
loud?
new spell has been researched. There is nothing.
I mean, I know what the answer is. But like I said, the fucking soundscape of this game is a nightmare. All right, so as our imps dig through this area, you're going to see we have discovered a new kind of creature. I believe they're called the Mistress of Pain. And you can see they are clad in full body PVC. And they were strapped to the whipping tables there, because that's what they like to do in your dungeon. That's how they'll spend their time.
Okay.
I was 12. I don't know what the developer's excuse is. So yeah, this is the mission where we learned about that. You've a dark mistress. You finally constructed a dungeon impressive enough to attract a dark mistress. You must discipline these wicked wenches frequently. They respond particularly well to a good... That's right, they like it when you slap them.
Oh, boy, that's...
There was a time... So I do want people to take some degree of heart.
Same.
I do want people to take some degree of heart. I think it's really easy to think of the video games industry as a place that's like... It seems to be catering mostly to like 12-year-olds. But there was a time when it was catering only to 12-year-olds.
Yeah. Stephanie says that in the German version called them Iron Maidens.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I wonder why the differentiation. Okay, so we don't have the kind of room that they like, so this is going to be the only one of those. I know you can put captured enemies in a torture chamber, and it does something to them in the same way that the prison will turn them into skeletons eventually. All right. You've manufactured a powerful lightning trap. Hey, great work, guys. Sorry, this is what I want. So yeah, we got a lightning trap, we got some gas traps, we got doors, and we got good doors. And our goal on this mission is to find and dispatch this enemy dungeon keeper. Aha, and we know that there's a portal over this way. So I am actually going to, for real, actual purposes, I'm going to grab a body. Let's take like a reasonably high level demon spawn. And we're going to go exploring. Wait, this is the wrong way. Oh, I grabbed a spider. Whatever. The spider's high level. Spider Bane. Okay, yeah, and the spider has abilities. You can see. I can shoot web. I can whatever.
Can the web
is.
be any size?
It looks to me like I have two different webs. Oh, imp versus imp combat down here. And this is, you can see the things here are a different color. This is the other dungeon. All right, I'm gonna pull back here. I'm gonna abandon Bane. Oh geez, I really did just kind of put him to his death. Can I grab him? I grab him.
Food is scarce.
Get him out.
Your hatchery.
Food is scarce. What? Y'all are so hungry. We're just gonna dig out a bunch more hatchery. Okay, so now we know where they are. We're gonna go fuck them up. I can pick up my creatures just about anywhere, but I can only put them down on tiles that I own.
Okay.
So I can't just choose to drop my whole army into the middle of their base.
Food is scarce.
What I can do is build a bridge
A trap has been manufactured.
into their base, and then my imps can go and start stealing their tiles. But we can at least drop people on this thing now. Okay, and I think that's likely to be what's about to happen here. What are we looking at? So yeah, Bile Demons working away in the workshop. Bile Demons love workshop. Y'all have done a great job with the research, but it's time to start training for blood. Right, everybody in the training room. We got a lot of money. We can afford full creature training. Room lost? Oh, the other player converted my bridge.
That's rude.
That is rude. I was using that. Oh, you can see they're trying to run. They're trying to run creatures up here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna. So, the game wants you to use like a guard post for stuff like this. I find that it's more effective to create a small training room in the place that you want guarded and have demon spawn hang out there, because they'll just stay at it because they like being there. And now, yeah, now when our enemies try to come in here to steal gold and whatnot, we will we have guards on hand. Holy hell. Okay, they're really going for it. Let's just pick up some people and drop them on the closest tile that we own. I have a little bit of a lightning spell here, so we're just gonna contribute to the battle our own selves. So that's really not doing much damage. Right, we might be better off just casting heals on our friendlies here. Spells cost gold directly. Okay. See that 300 there is what it costs for me to cast this. So unfortunately, we do not have the ability to just heal infinitely, but I can put a lot of healing on my creatures. And if we pull this thing up, it shows in a kind of a very simple way how the battle is going.
Your creatures are attacking the enemy.
All right, fantastic work, everybody. That's a lot of murders we just committed there. Oh, you can see the other keeper is slapping his imps to make them come over here and convert stuff faster.
Mm-hmm.
Your creatures are attacking
You know what? Let me deprioritize the mining for a second. So I want my imps to.
Winning a battle. Your gold reserves are running low. Your minions are winning a battle.
Oh man. Do we own this? We don't. The enemy still owns the bridge, unfortunately. But like a single high-level pit spawn just killed 3 or 4 of their monsters. I need... Okay.
I'm stepping away for one moment. I'll be right back. Everyone in the chat, behave.
Creatures are attacking the enemy.
Okay, we got control of the bridge back. That's important.
You cannot afford to train creatures.
Okay, now I need to re-emphasize mining because we ran out of gold really fast.
Are winning a battle.
The second I stopped focusing on gathering money, all of a sudden we're broke. Please make that imp stop trying to capture our stuff.
A trap has been manufactured.
I don't think I'm allowed to put traps on... Yeah, you can only put traps on just neutral ground tiles, unfortunately. I would love to trap
Creatures
this.
are attacking the enemy.
There we go.
I have returned.
Welcome back. I would love to trap the edge of the walkway here, but our creatures are going to have to... Our imps are going to have to actually steal some of these tiles for that to happen. So let me see if I can get them to do that. I do like when you drop them and they shout yippee. It makes me feel a little bit better. That I'm not just like making them terribly miserable all of the time.
Yeah.
Hey, demon spawn. Defend this noble imp.
Your creatures are under attack.
And I'm gonna use the workshop. I'm gonna put a door up here. I'm just gonna lock them into their own base is my plan.
Okay.
Your gold reserves are running low.
Alright, and I'm gonna make a portion of this room into a treasure
Creatures are
room
attacking the enemy.
so that
Creatures are
the
under
imps don't have
attack.
to run so far with the gold. Okay, this should, in theory, make it a lot safer for us to... Can I
You have
just get, like...
taken control of a new room. A door has been manufactured.
Get that imp. Don't let him run around. Alright. We've claimed the torture room. That's true, we finally did.
Creatures are falling in battle.
Place captive heroes and creatures into this chamber of horrors to convert them to your supremely evil way. Oh, okay. It just converts them straight up. That's fine.
The enemy is destroying your rooms.
Where? Oh, the the shit we stole from them. My imps are just kind of like running into their base and claiming random things. Defend the library!
There's nothing left to research.
I think they have run out of monsters. This would actually be a really good time for all of my imps to get over here and convert some shit. If we steal their rooms, obviously it's going to be real hard for them to dungeon. And you can see here the little like ghostly outlines of where I've told them to put down traps.
Claimed an enemy room. Your creatures are under attack.
Your creatures have to, your imps have to run to your workshop and grab the trap and actually haul it out there. So they have not yet bothered. They have not yet gotten around to it. I mean, they're doing good work over here. They're restoring our wealth a little bit. Honestly, what we kind of need right now is more imps. But
Trap has been manufactured.
summoning more imps is not always trivial in cost. Okay, it's about to be a whole situation in here. Creatures! Do not allow their warlocks to enter our library, our sacred library.
Food is scarce. Enlarge your hatchery.
Oh, I didn't actually... I dug out the space for the bigger hatchery and then didn't actually expand it. Part of the problem is we have a lot of... That's the wrong type. Part of the problem is we have a lot of bile demons, and bile demons, they eat and eat and eat. There we go. More hatchery. You can see the chickens will literally just like grow up out of the
Food is
ground
scarce.
in here.
Enlarge your hatchery.
Okay. We got money going. We got a training room nearby. I am going to employ a call to arms spell. I'm going to try to draw my creatures up to here. Y'all. The time has come for conquering. Don't you want to conquering?
There is nothing left to research.
It is so hard to get them to conquer, and I don't believe I don't believe I can take control of an imp and convert rooms myself. I would if I could.
Yeah.
Because this process is kind of a nightmare. trying to get them to care about stuff enough to actually take it over. All right, do I have an imp dancing in this room? I do. Okay. Once I have flipped their lair, that's gonna probably be the end of things.
Adam in the chat says you can convert. You convert an imp and convert stuff, and you can convert.
Okay, if I go into an imp, I can manually convert rooms.
You have claimed an enemy
okay.
room.
Yeah.
All right, well, now we've got their lair, and that's probably about the end of that. I think my imp is continuing to focus. All right, yeah, I'll just grab all their stuff. So over here, we can see just the edge of it. We have their dungeon heart, and the way we actually defeat them is by blowing that
An
up.
entrance has been claimed.
All right, we took over their portal, so no more reinforcements for them. Let's see our little dudes running around, my man. Go this way. I guess, you know what?
You have claimed an enemy room.
Let me try doing that. Okay, here we go. So here's the dungeon heart. How do I... oh, no, that's the button that makes you unimpify. I have no idea how to actually control, like, I don't know what the buttons are for doing stuff as an imp. I know how to select my different attacks. Oh, okay, that totally does work.
Yeah, Adam goes on to say that, says, I wrote that feature.
Oh!
So.
Fascinating. Alright, now I'm just going to drop a bunch of demon spawn on the tile adjacent to their dungeon heart. And that's going to solve that problem in a real hurry. So yeah, there are some ways in which this game definitely appeals to a sort of 12-year-old sensibilities. But I do think, like, the basic concept is pretty rad.
Yeah.
And I really like a bunch of the little touches. I think the thing where you can inhabit one of your creatures is brilliant. How satisfying it is to see an enemy keeper's dungeon crumble and his power dissipate. There'll be no controversy over this year's Hall of Infamy nomination. And you know, it's having fun, a very sort of like Games Workshop, like Blood Bowl-y kind of fun in the space. I dig the narrator talking about, you know, Cuddleberg and whatever.
Everyone has been put to the sword, and we've made an enormous magic carpet out of the thousands of bunnies that swarmed here. Your minions will feast on their tiny remains for weeks. Truly a majestic victory.
You know, evil. So yeah, this is Dungeon Keeper. This is the thing that this is. We're gonna do another one. You want to do another one? Yeah. I want to do one where we have heroes.
This region of dreaming underlings is ruled by the beautiful Lady Catherine. She's kind and fair, and doesn't imprison or torture her subjects, for some reason.
Unimaginable. It appears you have arrived in the middle of a raging battle. Perhaps it would be wise to stay out of the way until you are strong enough to eliminate both sides. Yeah, another thing that I do want to make clear, I mean, if it wasn't clear enough already, is that I'm not actually like very knowledgeable about this game's mechanics. Presumably there are, here, let's make this a hatchery.
You do not have
hey, a treasure room. What if you made a treasure room? Smarty pants. Yeah, we'll just dig straight through this space because we'll roomify that at some point. We gotta start with the money. Yeah, I don't really like, so I'm making rooms of kind of arbitrary sizes because I don't know what's best, and I'm sure when I was playing this when I was younger I had a better sense of things, but I literally have been, you know, I spent like
store gold.
I don't know, an hour with it last night, and that's the first time I played it since probably 1997. So, there was a sequel.
Okay.
That I don't know too much about. I didn't have the sequel, but it is very much the same kind of thing, is my understanding. But obviously with upgraded graphics. This, of course, was during a period where game technology, and especially like graphics and 3D technology, was advancing in like extremely dramatic leaps and bounds.
Treasure room to store gold. You have tunneled into a new area.
Get a little bit of a treasure room going at first. Let them run the gold to it. We can help out with this. Actually, I can grab gold off the ground and then deposit it myself. There we go. That'll speed that process up a bit. You like to have a nice big treasure room because you would like to need a nice big treasure room. It's more aspirational than anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We can see we've discovered some lava and whatnot. I do know that like the big dude with the scythe from the opening cinematic was kind of like the mascot for this game, and he, you know, his big demon grin is on the cover and everything. The cover for the second game is him and the Dark Mistress, so I assume they leaned into that stuff a little bit more.
Okay.
We are, in fact, going to dig out our treasure room a little bit more, again, mostly out of hope. I am going to also... Here, make a decent-sized space over here. Because this is like, we have room for a hatchery, and... Yeah, we need more space. An orc warlord joins you and brings with him the plans for building a barracks. In this room, you can form creatures into teams. We might already be further than I was before.
Okay.
Group creatures by placing them into the room. Like, I don't remember how far I got as a kid. I've never seen this room before, but hold on. It's probably not the most critical thing in the universe. What I would like to do next, actually, is build my training room out. Alright, y'all are acquiring gold. We have a decent amount of cash. Let's start the training room. And then this can be the chicken room. Delicious chicken room.
You have tunneled into a new area.
Oh, we broke through the wall into some stuff. Alright, so our overall map doesn't tell us a huge amount.
Your creatures are under attack.
Our flies got into a fight with something, and they've discovered a door. They're getting into a fight with that door. Go get them, fly. Uh-oh, just so I can show you what I was talking about earlier. This is the world as a fly. I think this segmentation effect is neat.
Okay, yeah.
And also you can fly around. It's like Descent in here.
And it's making me a little nauseous like Descent does. So
see, authenticity.
Were you a big fan of Descent?
We will not do that. I never really played Descent, but I did play some of the other I played Forsaken. I played like some of the other games that were in like that space.
Okay.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! We got an archer man here, a fantasy archer man, who's shooting crap at our flies, and our flies are cowards, so they're just running away instead of fighting. I'm not going to stress too much about it. I mean, here, let me. Oh, we don't even have Call to Arms researched. Unfortunately, you don't start with all of your spells unlocked. Every level you have to research them again, so speaking of which, might want to create a space for getting things like that done.
You should build a hatchery to feed your minions. Your creatures are under
Good
attack.
advice. Good advice. Working on it. I gave my poor imps too much to do. They have a little bit of trouble focusing if you give them a lot of, if there's a lot of things for them to focus on.
Food is scarce. Enlarge your hatchery.
Is food scarce, or do we have the biggest factory, the biggest hatchery in town? Come on.
Your creatures are under attack.
There's a hell of a lot of this room. I will say, like, economically, the game does not really stress you most of the time. I'm building these huge rooms, and they're probably way bigger than we need. But money is just never tight enough for that to become a problem.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily like, you know. Not every game needs to be mechanically tight in that particular way. This game is very clearly, like, indulging in a particular, like, kind of aesthetic and fantasy. It's not really doing that thing as far as, like, you know, what is the mechanical challenge.
Yeah.
Your creatures
Seems
are
like
under
our
attack.
imps are mostly kind of getting things under control. I'm gonna
Your creatures need a
take this
bigger
stuff
lair.
out. The creatures need a bigger lair. That's true. They do. I don't know what I was thinking. We'll go at least a couple of sizes
Tunneled
bigger.
into a new area.
The good news is some of our creatures are spiders and some of them are flies, so the number of creatures living in our lair is going to go down a little bit. What are y'all up to?
Your creatures
You know what?
need a bigger lair.
Let me see if I can.
Premium.
Let me see if I can successfully harass this archer man.
Yeah.
Wait, am I going the right way? I'm going the wrong way.
Your creatures are under attack.
Yeah, what I want is this. Punching is for you.
Creatures need a bigger lair.
The mouse sensitivity. Oh, okay. I got my fly killed. The mouse sensitivity is not what I would expect.
Your creatures are under attack.
Ah.
Yeah, our flies are too weak. They are too weak for this purpose. Do we have warlocks? We don't have warlocks. My library is up. I have all the things that warlocks love.
It is payday.
We might have to force some other creatures to do research because I think I just got
Creatures
a
need
little bit.
bigger lair.
I got a little bit full on stuff before the warlocks could show up. Okay, it'll help once we grow our lair a little bit. We'll have room to bring in some more bodies. Why did you leave that one space in the corner
Creatures
for
are under
last?
attack.
And in fact, I may want to just like dig out a secondary layer space. Or I guess there's room for this layer to go backwards quite a bit in this direction. Okay. Hey, Ips. There's more gold over here.
Your creatures are under attack.
So I was just talking about how like we don't really get pressed economically, and then all of a sudden, here I am, kind of struggling for money. I'm not going to dig out the tiles that are serving as the walls to this library. We're going to keep our library somewhat intact. We'll dig out a tunnel here. Okay.
Your creatures
So you can
are
see
under
this.
attack.
This is the other keeper using that Sight of Evil spell to reveal our base. Unfortunately, until somebody researches the bridge, we can't cross over here to fight this dude super effectively.
Creatures are falling in battle.
I don't know how bad the lava damage is. Let's find out. I'm wondering if creatures will just die instantly upon stepping in the lava.
Your creatures are under attack.
Hey everybody, how's it going? We're just gonna wander over here. I have a level 3 demon spawn, and I bet I can kick that archer's ass if I can not die instantly to the lava trying to get over to him. And I would love for him to stop like
Your
taking
creatures
pot
are
shots
under
at us.
attack.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, that's not bad at all. Ow. Chop, chop, chop. Easy. Enough of this nonsense. That dungeon will probably run itself, right? I'm gonna go have a look at what else is down here.
Okay.
What do you think of this, Amabel? What's your how are you feeling about
Your
it?
creatures are under attack.
I mean, it seems fine for its period. It's an interesting.
All right, come here. I'll just bring you back.
Demon spawn are immune to lava.
Oh. Well, that's a handy thing that I did not know. That seems very useful indeed.
This is something which I think highlights a difference in approach between you and I to a game or a thing. You like to figure stuff out on your own.
Oh, okay, sure. I'm willing to.
Sort of like experimentate. I am the kind of person who's absolutely looking up whatever fan wikis exist for how the mechanics work and what the stats are for things. I don't remember any of it, but I do look it up. Which might just be because I tend to approach games.
Your creatures are under attack.
You know, my interest in games is to some degree vocational.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like the game design and how the pieces fit together are things that I'm more interested in than having the experience for myself necessarily.
Oh, this guy's high enough level to have another attack.
Your creatures are fighting amongst themselves.
Demon spawn get a ranged attack after a certain level. Where you can go. That's very fun. It does a good job of like the evil cute as well. Hey, you.
Yeah.
I enjoy
do
projectiles.
Like, you know, the pixel art is
in
not
your dick.
Because
what? That's where the
see,
projectiles are being.
Yeah, I don't know how good that is. I don't have the sounding on.
I'm just gonna lure him back to the lava, where I will jump in
Your creatures are falling in battle.
and bring him with me.
Yeah.
I'm having such a hard time navigating this hallway backwards. Okay.
I like how the art, you know, I mean, obviously with the resolution is a little not the most sophisticated, but it has like a stop motion feel.
Okay,
me.
sure, yeah.
Which I know, because I read a lot about Doom after you introduced me to Doom, and I know that with Doom they did stop motion models and then scanned them in and then pixelated them to make the monsters in Doom, in the original Doom, and it has a certain aesthetic that I actually find really
I ran down
charming.
the wrong hallway.
I see that.
Running backwards while trying to shoot a guy in the dick over and over again is not trivial. You know, it's a developed skill. Here's another demon spawn. We're doing it. This is my tactic for this level.
Okay.
Alec, the level 5 demon spawn. I think I saw a warlock when I was back there. I think we have warlocks now. Okay, here's the little gap that I was getting in through. Yeah, I just went down the wrong hallway entirely with Fusish. Rip Fusish. Anyway, Alec's gonna solo the whole enemy force.
All right.
Do it, buddy. Go. It's possible that I'd be better off, well, I was going to say zooming out and casting spells to assist, but actually, we don't have any spells. Nobody's doing any research. There is an attack of the killer tomatoes-ness to the thing that I'm doing here. Oh, that guy's even bigger.
Yeah.
That guy's a whole different kind of fantasy hero creature.
Were you a big Attack the Killer Tomatoes fan?
You know, I'm going to tell you something that's perhaps going to revoke some of my cred. And
okay.
I apologize, and please don't stop loving me. My experience of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is pretty much just the Saturday morning cartoon.
Okay, I mean that's not that's a decent way to.
Got him. Fuck that dude. All right, let's look around for other stuff.
See, whereas when I was in middle school, for theater class, we had to like perform a song, and I performed the hit song from Attack the Killer Tomatoes, "Puberty Love." So that's my tomatoes.
Holy shit! That dude is so much faster than most of the enemies that we've been dealing with. Feel my claws. I'm winning.
I'm not used to fantasy dwarves being fast. Are they dancing? What are they doing with their arms?
They are receiving the pain of my incredible attack. Of my tomato vomit. Alright, Alec, you did it. Go home, get some rest. Oh no!
I would not recommend that you watch it.
Alec, no. Okay, we finally researched bridges.
Alright, who are you gonna get killed now?
Your creatures are under attack.
I zoomed out of Alec's body and he just fucking died immediately. I feel so bad. He's our greatest hero. Okay, there we go. Now we can actually form a ground connection to this area and start converting it, and then use the converted tiles to summon monsters on and stuff.
Your creatures are under attack.
Also, I should really have more imps. We lost a bunch of imps. Where is this happening? My flies are continuing to fly around and get into trouble.
A new spell has been researched.
Okay, yeah. Now that we have warlocks, like things are turning around. I don't need to be running the show manually anymore. Let me grab, I don't know, a bunch of y'all and a bunch of y'all maybe, and just kind of like drop you on the backside of this enemy party directly on their wizard. There we go, wizard down. Huzzah! Yeah, the fact that demon spawn are immune to lava is actually fantastic information.
Yeah.
I don't think they tell you that on the level where you get the demon spawn, but I also don't believe that there is any level or any lava on that level. So that probably has something to do with why. I would love to dig this out and make this just like a passage we can use. And y'all backed off before the job was done. We are still actually fighting enemies here, if you don't mind. Just speed a couple of monsters. Get in there and fuck them up. Alright. So yeah, just enemy heroes doing stuff. You can see there's several different types of enemy hero character. You get a lot of your standard fantasy tropes. And in most levels, I know we just did one where the whole thing was like there was a rival dungeon keeper, but in most levels I feel like cool, call to arms, useful. The level ends with the greatest hero of the land, the lord of the land, coming down to your dungeon to fuck you up, and you have to successfully defeat him and then claim all of his gold and whatnot. You see creatures resting will regain their HP, provided that they've been able to eat and everything. I'm wondering if that's what happened to that last pit spawn. Like or demon spawn. I'd been out of the dungeon for too long. I hadn't eaten or rested in a while. I was just, like, taking periodic damage. Because that was crazy. I jumped out of it and he just like blew up. It was a very sad time. You know, we're gonna fuck it. We're not gonna maintain this wall. Let's just go ahead and dig through here. Okay, so did not mean to mark that for murder. Let's just pull this gold over here, and then let's grab some of these imps. And how far down did y'all... Actually, you did a pretty great job. Good, yeah, good work. They really got out here. And I'm going to probably grab one of them. Not the one who's working. Grab one of the ones who decided his job was to do the opposite of what I told him to do. We're going to come in here and convert some of this stuff manually. Okay, you only have to hit unclaimed ground a single time. That's pretty rad. Do I wish that there was a dedicated dance button? Of course I do. Of course I do.
Yeah.
But this ain't so bad. Oh, I skipped a tile. That's what's going on. It's like, why isn't that flipping? But you can obviously only flip tiles that are adjacent to the tiles you already own, which is, you know, that's like a board game. That's a board gamey concept.
Sure, yeah. That's a question mark block?
Yeah. So your imps and stuff can grab this stuff. There we go.
With experience.
You can grab those with your hand as well, but they have to be on a friendly. They have to be on a tile you own.
Your creatures are under attack.
By the time I click on it, it's always no longer the case. All right, converting tiles up here is good. We'll be able to drop creatures in this area and finish our patrol. What is this? Resurrect creature. Interesting. You may raise one of your fallen minions.
You may resurrect one creature. So be it.
A great and heroic pit spawn, demon spawn. I don't think that's not the one I killed. The one I killed was only level 5, I believe. Actually, he was level 5 when I took control of him. I wasn't paying attention. I might have leveled him up. Maybe the case. All right, so this stuff's flipping. There's kind of not a lot for us to do in this moment. A lot of stuff is going just kind of like, well, you know?
Yeah.
I don't feel a particular need to, our imps are converting that area. I guess let's dig this out. We can build a workshop. I don't have a workshop
The
yet.
room has been researched.
Got a prison, but I don't really think that we're going to need it. Obviously, same deal with the gold. I can pick up gold in the environment and move it around, but only if it's on a friendly tile, so the imps are going to have to convert some stuff for us. And obviously, once the gold's on friendly tiles, they will also be willing to move it. But I may as well help out. Oh, my treasure room is getting really full. Okay, let's make a couple of imps over here to burn this down real fast. Okay, there we go. Little workshop space. Give some of my creatures something to do.
Are attacking the enemy.
Active combat? Active combat. Show me. It doesn't have the eye on it. There's a button for zoom to combat usually. I don't know where this warlock was, but I don't actually want him fighting stuff by himself, ideally. Go train. Oh, there was something in my treasure room, it looked like. Well, whatever. Good job, everybody. All right, how goes the conversion? There's still, oh God, there's still so much space. It is a real labyrinth over here.
It is payday.
But the answer to how goes the conversion is faster, which is what I like to see. There was another imp over here somewhere, right? I mean, this guy's exploring. He's finding stuff. So the heroes, the surface people, they do often just spawn in kind of like random rooms.
Okay.
Just like little dead ends like this. And I guess the idea is they came down from above. Let me pull a couple of our spiders over here to just open some things up.
A door has been manufactured.
Okay. They have no interest in further movement down that hallway. Let me... Sleepy spiders.
Your creatures are under attack.
Hold on just a damn second. We opened up this hallway. I want to see what's down here. Apparently heroes. I'm afraid of you. I'm level 6 or whatever. What does that mean statistically? I have no idea.
Beware, the Lord of the Land approaches.
The Lord of the Land approaches. Okay.
We shall defeat you.
So this is going to be a fancy paladin looking type somewhere. And killing him is going to end the level. I think I hear the clanking of plate armor. The Lord of the Land has finally roused himself from the fireside to find out where all his loyal servants have gone. Okay, for some reason, the look at this event button just takes us to the dungeon heart. Obviously, that would be the way we lose if the Lord of the Land is able to slay our dungeon heart. Okay, here we go. Here's the man and his adventuring party. I don't think there's any reason to be coy about this. We're pretty built up and powerful. Y'all just, like, have at him. Grab some bile demons and some warlocks. Come at him from this side, and that's gonna do the job, I reckon. In fact, half of our combat squad just went home. Alright, turned the local heroes into something of an endangered species. Now go make the enemy dungeon keeper extinct. Okay, so there is still a dungeon keeper. Well, we found some of his rooms, and we see walls and stuff up here. Let me grab a couple of my imps. Do I just not have imps right now? Alright. All my imps got murdered. It's fine. Alright, if we build a torture chamber and stuff, we could start attracting the fancier unit types, but at this point I feel like the mission's gotta be basically over. Right, like how much of the map are we over now? Yeah, we've got to be pretty much done. Hold on, this is interesting. Oh yeah, okay, this is definitely where the dungeon is. You can see all of his stuff and his imps running out. And trying to reconvert the tiles that I converted? Hey, how dare you? Oh, he's doing the same thing I'm doing. You can see him just like dropping monsters in from the roof. How dare you? Alright, spell. Call to arms. Speed some monsters. Unfortunately, we haven't researched heal yet on this map. Ooh, we got some stuff here. It's like a level 8 warlock. I'm a little concerned. Okay, I think we overwhelmed them just with like overlapping clouds of bile demon attack. Where's the tile that I own? Here we go. Okay.
A new spell has been researched.
We did some good damage there. I'm gonna cancel. Shoot, not that. I'm gonna cancel the call to arms. Actually, do I want to cancel the call to arms? Maybe I just want to direct them deeper. Yeah, we'll just walk them down the hallway with the call to arms spell until we get to the actual. Here we go. This is we're seeing a lot of imps, which is probably a good sign. And then I've got my own imp squad running alongside for converting things, creating territory where I can reinforce. I need to turn a little bit here. Forward! Save him! I can only keep this poor guy alive for so long. Here we go. Okay, nothing left to research, you say? Where is my closest tile? I'm just going to grab all of our warlocks then, and they can come join the call to arms. Continue forward, everyone. No survivors. He issued a counter call to arms. I guess this hallway is going to be the place where everything occurs. Everybody's remaining minions. Why is there such a long hallway running like the entire length of the map? What kind of design is this?
It's something.
My man, where are your actual rooms? Yeah, our level 8 demon spawn is at this point really leading the pack.
A trap has been manufactured.
No. Trying to make sure we keep the most valuable fighters alive. Okay, here we go. This is what we want. This is their real stuff. The ability to just pour gold into the HP pool of a powerful combat unit feels a little unfair.
Yeah.
He's kind of dominating everything that the enemy is able to do. Alright, clearly we're getting close. Yeah, the dungeon heart. Get him. We don't need to clear out the rest of their dungeon, we can just clear out the heart. Alright, we don't have quite the melee mass that we had last time, but this is a lot of creatures. We should crush this pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So okay, I feel like you got to see a pretty decent cross there of like defending against heroes, dealing with the Lord of the Land, fighting enemy factions.
Yeah.
And like I said, the soundscape of the game is just annoying. Not really any two ways about that. You may have noticed we don't really have music. The game ran the music directly off the CD, and I don't, for the record, I did own a CD copy of this game, but I do not have my CD anymore. So, the land is yours, press space to proceed to the next round. I always thought this was weird. There's a win the level button that becomes enabled when you hit all of the stuff, but you don't. The game just lets you keep playing and fucking around until you decide you're good.
Okay.
Panic Intrinsica.
Adam says you need the OGG files to play the music for this.
Yeah. There's
one to make you vomit.
There's files that are the music from the CD. The game natively, I believe, just tries to run the music off the CD, and I haven't. Like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time setting this up last night. I just wanted to make sure that it worked well enough to show the gameplay, because it's an interesting thing, right? It's an interesting thing, and I think a lot of people probably are not so aware of it anymore. It's certainly not like a lost media kind of thing, but it's a weird old game that I think people are less familiar with now.
I do like weird old games. Generally, and
as much as I like, have some consternation about the 12-year-old vibes, I do think like a lot of the ideas are good. It's a cool kind of thing, I love games like this where you are building sort of a base to take on incoming creatures. You can see sort of like the roots of some like tower defense stuff in here, and obviously I loved Evil Genius, although Evil Genius is I love Evil Genius conceptually. Unfortunately, the gameplay's a little, I don't know.
What's Evil Genius?
Evil Genius is basically, it's sort of like Dungeon Keeper, but for a kind of like the Incredibles vibe.
Okay.
You're like that kind of supervillain.
All right.
Taking on it's more spies than superheroes, but it's that particular kind of the thing the Incredibles was riffing off of, not the Incredibles itself, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have enough familiarity with those kinds of spy movies to be able to give you a first order reference there.
No, but I get the general vibe. You know, spy movies are real popular in the 60s especially. There's a... actually, something that's really interesting about some of the Godzilla movies in the late 60s is the director who took over for Ishiro Honda, Jun Fukada, had directed a bunch of spy movies and spy spoofs. So he brings some of that energy to some of those films, like Ibera Horror of the Deep is basically like an island adventure spy film with, you know, Godzilla and a giant lobster.
See, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just said some shit about movies and then let you host the stream. You have so much interesting knowledge.
Yeah, but not about video games, which is what people are mostly here for, I think. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. I mean, it's only been like an hour and a half. I don't know. Do you want to tack a little something onto the end here before we do our outro? Is there anything that you've been itching to play or see played?
I mean, I know there's something I've been wanting you to play, but that'd probably be a future stream, maybe.
Okay, all right.
Because I can't play Celeste 64. I can't navigate that space. I want to experience it.
Yeah, I do not have that installed. So, yeah, we'll prep that for a future time.
All right. Well, what do you wanna?
I'll tell you what. I just have the vibe.
Voxelgram.
I'm gonna. Okay. I was gonna put on a little bit of Mixolumia to sort of wrap things up.
Okay, that sounds great.
I love Mixolumia. Is Mixolumia set up to not be louder than holy hell? It is not. I'm glad I checked. There we go. Okay.
Okay, and you can share that one with me so I can hear it.
I already have.
Yep, I see that now.
I'm way ahead of you. And then I can share it with the viewers. Which I thought I did. Oh, nope. Okay, there's the problem. There we go. Hey everybody, it's Mixolumia. We're just gonna play a little bit of Mixo on our way out of the stream here. So, Amabel, Dungeon Keeper. This kind of thing. Games where you get to play as the quote unquote the bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm familiar with this sound pack. Oh, hold on a second. And also, we're on the default colors. Something right here. Did my settings get reset or something? What is going on? Yeah, this'll do. Truly bizarre. Anyway, Amabel.
Yeah.
The question.
You started to ask a question and then stopped. I did not hear the entire question.
The games where you play as the like, what do you think about this? Games where you're like playing as the villain in an explicit way.
Well, I think part of it depends on tone and intent. Mm-hmm. You know, because something like this was pretty silly.
Yeah.
And like that's fine. I don't mind being a Sauron, for example. If we're talking about like issues of like complicity and player spaces, that's a whole nother discussion, you know?
You're talking about more of like a Spec Ops The Line kind of critique.
What's Spec Ops The Line?
I don't know why I thought that would work. Never mind.
So yeah, it you know, it varies on how it's handled. You know, I mean, I think anything is how you handle it, what you do with it. The idea of, you know, building and defending a base, doing it with monsters, is pretty cool, and I wouldn't mind something like that. You know, where it's not even like that you're evil and it's evil, but more like, hey, monsters are pretty neat and they're sentient beings. Maybe don't be dickbags to them. You know?
Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, this is obviously going for a very like cartoony kind of like
Yeah.
It's
and
very
it
metal.
works for that.
It's very metal. I dig that. I do think that Dungeon Keeper, as it is actually implemented, it does, and this is a problem that I think a lot of these kinds of games have. It does run a little tedious. I don't think there's enough variety in the gameplay. You end up, over the course of like a dozen missions or whatever, kind of doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Has there been like spiritual successors to that?
Well, I mean, Evil Genius, I would argue, is...
Okay.
I don't know... Maybe somebody in the chat can speak more to this. I know there are those... I think they're called Overlord games where you're some kind of evil... Overlord? You're some kind of evil overlord. You're commanding, like, hordes of goblins and stuff, but those are much more like... third-person action games, I think. I believe there's some like RTS-iness to the commanding the goblins or whatever, but it's not like you're not base building, I don't think. That said, it can be a successor in terms of vibe or whatever.
Overlord is more of an evil Pikmin game.
Evil Pikmin, okay, sure. I mean, that's a fun idea too.
Is Pikmin the one where you're an astronaut and you got little plant people helping you out?
Yeah, you're giving like simple commands to little plant creatures to like move objects around, to solve environmental puzzles and whatnot.
Yeah, I haven't experienced that myself, but because again, there's a whole period of time when I was not playing video games, and there's a lot of things that I missed. And one of the delights about having you in my life is you get to tell me about things, introduce me to things, and it's really expanded my vocabulary as a board game designer, being able to engage with these concepts, learn about some of this history. So I really appreciate that, sweetheart. I really appreciate you.
Oh, that's very sweet.
That's what you get. I'm going to be sweet to you on your stream. Everyone can hear it.
I don't remember signing up for this. Yeah, so for those not familiar, this is Mixolumia. This is one of my favorite games of the last 10 years. It's just an sort of abstract falling block puzzler where I can delete groups of blocks by forming a straight line of 3 blocks or a square of blocks of the same type.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a procedurally generated soundtrack. Very, very like sort of. I think of it in sort of like a Mizuguchi space, you know. You get your what do you? Tetris effect, I suppose, would be the sort of modern touchstone. Back in the day, we were all big on Luminous.
Now, Luminous I've played.
You know, the cool Tetris.
Yeah. Whereas this one,
Tetris effect as well, but this.
Yeah.
This is not, to be clear, this is not actually a Mizuguchi game. This is a game made by a person called who goes by Dave Makes. But yeah, this game is rad, and it's usually pretty cheap on Steam. If this sort of thing is your sort of thing.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, fully customizable color palettes. You can make your own procedurally generated sounds happen pretty easily. There's a robust I don't want to say editor, but there's a robust editing methodology that is available to you, and it's well explained in the game's documentation and stuff.
We have a comment from someone who's watching the latest Fez episode earlier and says that that's us, we all, have got to stop being so dang cute. I'm going to cry /POS. I don't know what that means.
Thank you. Obviously, it's a very sweet thing to say. Hey, I feel pretty good about that comment.
Yeah, thank you. I don't understand the /POS.
I am trying to think of which episode is the most recent one, because we often, the stuff that we do together, due to our schedules and stuff, we often record in like bursts. We'll get like way ahead and then not record anything for 2 weeks.
So I think the most recent one...
I don't know what the most recent episode
is. Episode 5. And we've done 2 since then. The title you gave it was Maps. I don't know which one that is. POS is a tone indicator, meaning positive. Okay.
Oh, okay. You. I would probably have been able to tell you that if I was actually looking at the message.
Apparently, it was the one where I started crying after getting mushy. That does not narrow it down with our which episode that is, because we did record quite a few where I may get a little mushy. I'm a mushy girl.
Can I just kind of like say something about our audience?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, the drop. This particular sound pack has this moment that you have to earn your way up to, where the vibe changes a little bit, and I just this is what I live for. This is what I play this game for. That moment. Anyway, I think that we come at a lot of this stuff with a pretty different vibe than a lot of Let's Players do, and I'm very gratified that people like respond to it so well. Because I think that I don't know. I'm trying to say, I often feel when I watch other people's content, and I do. I watch a lot of it actually, as Amabel can attest. I often feel a little bit like an outcast because I really, really, really don't feel like we do things the way a lot of other people do them. And so it's very helpful to me to hear people say positive things about, our vibe and our approach and stuff, because I get real self-conscious sometimes.
Yeah. Stephanie says we're one of only 2 Let's Players that she still watches.
That's very sweet. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're definitely my favorite Let's Player.
Yeah, well, we both know why.
I mean, it's because your thumbnail game is on point. You don't do like the big face thing. I appreciate that.
I do kind of hate the big face thing. I have to
you respect the work, and you center the sharing of the game. Even though you are like a personality, you have like a personality-based show. You are centering the actual game, and you generally do it from start to finish. You treat it with respect. You are thoughtful. I mean, those are all the reasons why. And then also, yes, I'm madly in love with you, but like...
Yeah, I was talking about the smooching. There is smooching.
Nope Nah says, I discovered this channel looking for a playthrough of Rain World that persisted, but also had a good vibe. I really hit the jackpot, tell you what.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. I have had some troubles with... See, it's always hard to tell. I've had some troubles with people from the Rain World community, or I've had some troubles with one guy from the Rain World community who's just like really persistent.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the subreddits, you will see that the rules for the subreddit are based on the number of times I've had to argue with and then ban people who might be the same guy over and over again.
Yeah.
So it's rad. I know most people who like Rain World are cool people. Because, mostly people are a lot more chill than the dude that I was fighting with. But that guy was very weird and persistent. Anyway, we've hit the end part of the stream here. Thank y'all so much for the positivity. Yeah, I try very hard to select games that I try to find like a good mix of things that are popular enough that they'll like draw new attention into the channel, and things that I think people might not be familiar with that people should be more familiar with. You know, like I think Isles of Sea and Sky definitely falls into that second category. Like I'm trying to put eyes on indie stuff, but also I have to bring in new people so that their eyes can go onto the indie stuff, and also I have to generate views so that I can live, because capitalism. So I spend a lot of time researching stuff to go on the channel, and like as much time as I spend recording easily. Looking for new things to put on the channel and figuring out what the schedule is going to look like, and I do a lot of research. So I hope I've exposed people to some stuff that is cool. Sometimes the thing will just drop into my my email, but far more often I have to spend time digging through piles of indie games and whatnot. It turns out a lot of stuff comes out on Steam these days, and most of it is most of it's hentai, if we're being honest, but most of it's not great, is what I was gonna say.
Yeah. See, I think so. A couple more comments here. We got Kato saying, I think the first playthrough I watched yours was Sunless Skies. As Sunless Skies is kind of a text adventure with very pretty graphics, I was surprised to find myself basically glued to the screen. And then Babs on Durin, then Hollander says, I would never have bought Isles of Sea and Sky without your videos on it. I really enjoyed it.
I gotta tell you, that game is humbling me. I think it's part of it's that I'm tending to play it a lot at the end of my day. But I feel like I am coming back to areas and looking at a map for like the 14th time and being like, has that big symbol always been on the ground? Like, I feel like I am missing so much stuff. And I hope that it's not too frustrating for people to watch. But yeah, I'm glad that one is getting some love. I saw the developer caught some shit in their Steam forum from some chuds about a thing, and so I'm glad to like sort of help put some good eyes on it. I think we got an audience of pretty good, cool people here, mostly partially because I am all loudmouth about my political views and I drive off the other folks.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, I have I get such a stomach ache after we record some of the 4X School episodes. Just like saying my political views out loud makes me feel like I'm being confrontational, and I'm so confrontation averse that it like even just saying a thing where I think, oh my god, somebody's going to disagree with me, honestly kind of gives me a stomach ache.
I know, sweetie. The comments have been very normal though for Civ on the whole. I want to let you know that. And
it's another. It's also, it's not even the political stuff entirely. It is like, I don't like Civ.
Yeah,
and it's a very popular game, and so I do worry about people getting upset. Just me being like, hey, I think this game is bad. Because I just don't like. I don't know. I don't want anybody to feel judged by me or anything. But also,
sure.
I have very strongly held opinions, and I feel like I have good reasons and good bases for them. But I know it's very difficult it seems to be very difficult for a lot of people to sort of like separate judgment of the things they like from judgment of them as a person, or like, if I say the thing is bad, it doesn't mean that I think everybody who likes it is bad or dumb for not seeing the badness or whatever. But that ain't how it works on the internet in my experience.
Yeah, nor in mine. It's certainly something that I mean, I'll be honest, something that I struggled with as I got more loud about my politics within my, my particular profession. Because I was really worried about, I'm going to alienate like half of my customer base. But I feel like I've gained a lot more than I ever lost. Because people gravitate towards honesty. People gravitate towards someone saying a thing with their whole chest. And I really love the person that you are, and I really love the stuff you do on your channel, and I really love the audience that you've built, and they've been very welcoming to me, despite the fact that I am canonically really terrible at playing video games.
Okay, that took a twist. So what I was about to say is, I don't know if I'm comfortable with all this positivity directed at me, and then you started directing it back outward at the viewers, which is what I was trying to do. And I was like,
Okay.
yeah, rad. And then it turned into negativity directed at you, which I don't like.
And then Nope Nah says, while I'm gushing, I saw the utter lack of clickbait, heard the matter of fact, hello viewers, and immediately fell in love with the presentation.
That's very,
more positivity on you.
That's very kind. Hello viewers is absolutely just an artifact of, like, I was trying to like work up my game. I was like, how are other people doing the thing? And I watched a bunch of the sort of like the popular Let's Players of the time when I started doing that, which is years and years ago at this point, and they were all doing this like like a group name for their viewers that was intended to like stoke a weird sort of parasociality, obviously, like, the Pauls are not a particular influence of mine in any way, but I think about, like, Jake Paul referring to his fans as an army and stuff, and it's just like, I want to do whatever is the opposite of that. I want to try really hard not to be like convincing people that there's some kind of identity marker available by being a fan of or watching my content. It's like, you can just like a thing, and that's as far as that needs to go. We don't need to band together into an identity group and then use each other as leverage for things. Like,
yeah, I hate that.
I just want people to have something to watch that's interesting, that hopefully guides them to some cool stuff, and like to have some chill out stuff. There's definitely a lot of content that I use as like calm down my brain stuff, second monitor stuff, things to watch while going to sleep,
Yeah.
And all that stuff has value.
Yeah. The hello viewers is also something that really impressed me when I first started watching your vid. After we met, and I said I'll check out what her deal is, and like I like hello viewers so much, I made it my safe word.
It's true that if we were doing something where a safe word was necessary and you said hello viewers, activity would immediately cease. So I suppose it's functional as a safe word in that sense. I would leave the room. Anyway, it's time to end the stream.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the kindness and everything, everybody. I am not loving receiving all this direct positivity, so I'm going to end the stream. No, it's just time. So let's do that thing that we do at the end of the stream, where we recommend stuff to people, where we share things that we have loved, stuff that's been on your mind, stuff that you've been engaging with in the last week. Amabel, do you have anything?
Yeah. So I read a book, The Interaction of Color by Joseph Albers. Joseph Albers is one of the most important modernist artists of the 20th century, and he wrote a book about color and hue and his interactions, and I read that. It was all right. Find it. You can find it online. It's like it's worth reading. And I rewatched two movies that I've already seen before, but that I love very much. One is Bottoms, which is a very good queer comedy. I actually watched it, I think I might have mentioned it last time. So I watched it then, and then I watched it again with someone else. And then I watched Tampopo, which is
sure.
Tampopo.
Yeah.
The viewers might not, but it's like a movie about ramen and food and the relationship of food to culture, and it's kind of a meandering kind of film. Not for everybody.
People who are familiar with like particularly Japanese art, I think the way I would describe Tempopo is a film that is about ramen in a very Japanese way, which may be helpful for getting the sort of the vibe. Like it's very much about like the way that sort of a pursuit of perfection in a thing bleeds over into your life, and like what it means to love food as a cultural artifact, and what it means to love food as a way of connecting with people. And yeah, it's not exactly my usual kind of fare, but I did think it was quite good.
Yeah, that's one.
The movie, not ramen. Ramen is absolutely my usual kind of fare.
That's one of the films that I've shown you that you clicked with all right.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them don't necessarily fall into your wheelhouse, but that one did. What about you? What have you?
I saw this rad comedy called Bottoms. I don't know if you're familiar. I just wanted to throw in for Bottoms as well. Bottoms is, people love to use the words like unhinged to describe things these days. Like everything's crazy. Most things are not crazy. Most things are pretty normal. Bottoms is really wild. Like it takes some, especially tonally, I feel like it takes some really big swings. It's not afraid to sort of leap from comfort to discomfort and back very quickly. And it's got a cadence that is not really like anything else that I'm familiar with. I really would recommend everybody see Bottoms. It's really rad. Also, you know, I'll just say this. I'm a big fan of Ayo Edebiri. She's great in it. She's great in fucking everything. So,
yeah.
Quietly giving the best performance on The Bear in the face of, you know, a lot of other big noticeable performances. A thing I want to shout out, I'm gonna pop this up on screen here. I discovered this YouTube channel. Discovered in the sense that I was directed to this YouTube channel recently. No Caps here. This is a great place to find out about indie games. I have been just crawling her every indie game on my wishlist videos looking for ideas for stuff. She has great taste. She's paying very close attention to what is going on in the indie scene. She also has a lot of very interesting videos about like Animal Well and stuff like that. She did a review of Ultros, so she's someone else who actually saw and played Ultros, which is wild. It turns out I'm not the only one. I think I didn't watch it. I don't know. My guess from the title is she's less positive on it than I am. That's fine. People have their own opinions. But yeah, I think this channel is super worth checking out for people who are fans of indie games looking for new cool indie games to play.
I watched one of those wish list videos with you, and the pace of it.
It's like a 6-minute video in which she recommends like 12 games.
Yeah, that's incredible.
She's like, here's everything that's going on. The other thing, not that this needs my help, but the other thing that's going on is The Boys, the most recent season of The Boys ended. So if you're a person who wants to doesn't like to keep up with something in real time, wants it to all be there to binge all at once, hey, that season of The Boys is finished, and I think it's still pretty damn good. That's my opinion. I see Stephanie calling out Casey Explosion. Casey Explosion has some good taste. I can agree with that. I definitely take recommendations from Casey Explosion all the time.
Can we get more Godzilla puzzle game with Amabel rambling about the history of Kaiju movies, please? That will
yes,
happen at some point.
Actually, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I am not promising anything, but I was thinking that might be where we go when we finish Fez.
Okay, so because you've been talking about wanting to be, wanting to not be in the driver's seat for the next thing, and you know, I do want to get some of the stuff we've been talking about doing, some of the stuff on the checklist. I don't know when we finish Fez is, but well, yeah, because
the Godzilla Voxel Wars and going back to the Thief mod that everybody recommended, the Black Parade, Those are definitely like the two highest things on my list to do next. It will almost certainly be one of them. I don't know which yet.
Yeah, so the viewers don't know this yet, but you've given me the power to decide when we're done with Fez.
Well, that's literally, you're playing the game. The viewers do know that because you're playing the game.
I was playing Disco Elysium too. I didn't.
You could have checked out. You could have been like, "Hey, fuck this! I'm done with this." I did not think that was likely to occur.
I really loved Disco. Yeah, it was such an incredible thing.
I'm not going to chain you to the computer and force you to produce videos for the internet. If you wanna stop a game, you are in charge. But it's like with something like Fez, or which is something like Animal Well, it's like the question of when you're done is a little bit more. The answer is squishier, right? Like you're done when you feel like you're done. Like the Animal Well series. Not to spoil anything, but the episode is out at this point at least. Like I'm done with the Animal Well series, and I definitely didn't do everything in that game. But there's some stuff I did, by the way, look everything up. After deciding I was done, I was like, but I do want to know. And yeah, I think I picked the right moment, because there's no way in hell I was going to be able to do some of the stuff that is in sort of like the next group of puzzles to get to the next big outcome.
I mean, we could make getting a printer like a Patreon goal for you.
Listen, I have a printer. It's just not connected because it's the year 2024. I'm using it. It's holding up my Star Wars RPG rulebook right now. It's sort of an end table. I don't have a lot of furniture. Anyway, yeah, the rabbit mural puzzle is absolutely crazy. I have feelings about this. This is something I kind of wanted to talk about. We're not going to get into a big thing right now, but like I do think it's a little frustrating. And I'm not saying that this is not a thing that you can do or that this is bad design. I'm speaking entirely personally for me. It's a little frustrating that I can't participate in the solution to that puzzle because of the way it's designed. Like it requires cooperation between a pretty large group of people. And there would be no way at this point to try to coordinate such a thing without running into the solution that already exists online. Right? Like,
yeah,
it was solved by the community, and now it is solved by the community, and you become a member of the community when you choose to start caring about this stuff, and then the puzzle is already solved for you in a weird way. It's like contagious information. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a bad thing, and I'm sure it was really fun for the people who got to participate, but it's a bummer to me that I do not get to participate. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, you know what else? You know what else I've been watching a lot of the last week that I'm gonna call out here, even though, like, again, this is not a channel that necessarily needs my help, given the size disparity and everything. Because they're just like wholesome and good at their job. Playframe's great.
Yeah,
Playframe Dan and New Frame Plus, the whole Playframe family of products, they're just a delight. He is playing a lot of games right now that I am not necessarily super interested in. Like, I don't really care to watch somebody play Elden Ring, but yeah, he just makes good videos. Lots of people do like watching people do this stuff. Obviously, he's getting a lot of views. And right now, generally speaking, he posts like one multiplayer video a week, and those are like highlights of the week for me. I am always excited for whatever's going on over at Playframe on the weekend, because he plays games with his wife one day and then games with his friends another day, and they do some really interesting stuff. They introduced me to this game Blagmaws, which I'd never heard of before, but this seems rad as hell. Very like sort of like Towerfall. I guess would be the closest touchstone. But yeah, go check them out. They do cool, good work. Anyway, what time's the Evo top 8? We got things to watch. We gotta go. Thank you all so much for hanging out, for learning about games with us, for talking about games with us. A little bit of connectedness with people is nice.
Yeah.
I have a vague idea what we're doing next week. At the moment, there's going to be a stream next week. Plan is a stream next week, right? Question marks.
I believe so. Yes.
Asking you. Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not doing that thing until the following week.
Okay. That was what I was trying to verify. I couldn't remember.
And that's in the middle of the week, so it should be.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So stream next week. We have a vague idea. Stay tuned. There's new stuff coming on the channel because we just had a couple of series wrapped up, and there's some stuff that I'm eager to try out. And yeah, thank y'all so much for being here, and we'll see you later.